Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Modders Inc. podcast. This is going to be number 27 for us. And then during this show, it's going to be a little condensed because it's just around the holidays, and we're getting ready for some big things happening for the site, and we're also getting ready for CES, and got a lot of things going on. So today it'll be me, and we're going to have Ron, and we're going to have Joe, who is just a figment of your imagination today. All you get to do is hear his voice.
I envy Joe because he doesn't need to wear pants right now. He could be doing anything.
Yeah, he doesn't have to wear nothing if he doesn't want to. But you are wearing at least something, right, Joe?
Yes, I wouldn't scar people that bad. I mean, I'm funny looking as it is, so my face normally would scar them enough.
So, how was your guys' holidays and stuff? I know that we haven't really done one of these podcasts in about a month or so. So it was right after like Thanksgiving, and now we're getting closer to New Year's, and it's kind of hard to do a lot of stuff around the holidays. Did you guys have an okay holiday?
Joe, you go first.
I got fat.
Well, that's pretty much a gimme for everybody, isn't it? I mean, that's part of the holidays, just eating.
I tried to stay away from gaining too much. Luckily, I was able to stave off from eating too much carbs, but New Year's Day is coming too, so there's a giant ham in my fridge, so I can't guarantee. But my only chance is hopefully nobody in my family glazes it while my back is turned, because that's extra sugar right there.
Yeah.
I got seduced by a pumpkin pie, so I can't say much.
Oh my God! Don't mention it. I am tempted by baked goods so bad. When I on CES, I'm planning to eat clean for the first few days, but just the last three will probably be. I'll definitely hit the pastry shop with Dewayne. I know he's big into that as well.
Hey, yeah. I mean, I did the same thing. It was like no pies because I'm a pecan pie guy, and especially at Thanksgiving, it was like no pies. Try to stay away from that. So I was trying to be a good boy, saving all my stuff up for CES. So that's just going to be, alcohol and food. So
yeah. I was thinking after CES, that's when I go whole hog. I'm not until QuakeCon again, because I hate looking at my photos from QuakeCon. I was like 245 there. Luckily, right now I'm 190. I'm holding on to that. Hopefully, I break past to under 190 at CES, just so I don't have to. I actually had to buy new pants just so that I can hold it.
That's awesome. So you literally lost like 50 pounds?
You'll see. Yeah, you'll see. I don't want to take a photo and put it on Facebook yet, but I probably will January 1. But I want you to see on when we meet at Vegas. It'll be much better looking than photos. I always look horrible at photos.
Well, maybe that'll get me some inspiration, because I've actually gained a few pounds this year, so I got to get that over with.
Well, it'll be better than our normal picture, because you have some of us are like 5'6" all the way to Craig, who's like 7 feet tall. The offset's always horrible.
Well, let's jump into some hardware side of this stuff. We were talking earlier, before we get into the podcast, about some cases and stuff that we've seen, and people have been announcing like there's going to be definitely like a lot of new cases coming out.
Yeah.
And one of them that we saw last year at CES, and it was the Origin. It was a PC. It was the Millenium case. And I don't know if how many people have actually checked that out or even noticed, but they weren't selling those before separately. You had to buy a system to get the case, and now you can actually get the case separately. And I guess it's coming in different colors. I guess you can get them in what they show here is like black and gray and green, yellow, white, blue.
It is a full tower case, right? Because from the photos, it looks like a gigantic case. How big was it when?
It is. It is actually a big case. I'm gonna pop it up on the screen here.
So I think it was like quad SLI capable. So it was.
I want to say it has a pedestal option up as well. kind of like the Case Labs cases.
Yeah, so I mean, what you can actually do is, if I can scroll in the case here a little bit, is that it's not letting me do what I want to do. Sorry. So the case is like a full tower kind of case, but at the bottom, like it shows here, you can actually snap on a whole extra piece.
Oh, no, kind of like the half stacker which you reviewed.
Yeah, but this is like a whole add-on different piece because the case is on its own a case. So like you're seeing here in this picture here, it is a whole case already. Then you can add
like
a
this
whole separate piece on the bottom.
Yeah, it is called SLI, so that's like 8. That's a full tower.
Yeah. And you can put, like it shows here, it says it supports up to 12 3.5-inch drives or 24 2.5-inch drives on the bottom, where you can do full water cooling down on the whole bottom side of it. I mean, it's just, when you put it on there, it's really kind of neat because it just blends right in with the rest of the case. It's not like you added something on top of the box. It actually connects to the case, and it looks like it should be there. And it's quite the deal, and we were really wanting to make them last year, and we finally were able to get one out because they started sending them and started selling them. You can actually get the Origin.
Yeah, we actually have our very own Tom Brokaw has the real Tom Brokaw, by the way, not that fake guy in the news. The real Tom Brokaw has it. Palette of that on his. He'll be doing the review for it. Just stay tuned. We have it coming to you guys.
Yeah, probably having that a little bit just right after CES, so probably about mid-January, because a lot of the guys are trying to finish up some of the reviews now. So we're at CES, we don't have to do anything on that part, but you'll still have getting reviews up on the site. But I am excited that they're actually selling this thing because I know that people, they were saying before that a lot of people were buying like cheap systems just to get the case.
Who are these people? I think I need these people as friends.
I know, so like just give me that crap hardware then, and you think you're getting rid of it.
Because yeah. Go ahead, Joe.
HP did a similar thing a while back with the HP Blackbird.
Yeah, the was it the Omen? Was their gaming brand?
Oh,
Voodoo.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was HP was Voodoo DNA.
Voodoo, yeah.
Then they kind of killed Voodoo.
Well, yeah. Well, it wasn't the same thing with like when Dell bought Alien. I mean, Voodoo was their own, right?
Right.
Back in the day, Voodoo was Voodoo, and then they were bought by somebody else, just like Alienware was bought by Dell, right?
They actually had a release earlier this year. They had a Voodoo laptop came out this year.
Yeah, a new one. I think it's the NV platform. But yeah, they had, I want to say they released 1,000 units of just the case alone, and it came with a power supply, the DVD drives, and the case, of course. And I actually have one of the cases. But
they do come up with some cool ones in the pre-built area. There's remember the Acer Predator? It was like an orange case, and it had like a sliding door in the front. That was also pretty cool for a case, because that's one way you would attract a pre-built sale. Is the case obviously has to stand out from everyone else's.
I will say that case was horrible to install parts in. I had to deal with it a few times when I worked at Fry's, and it was a nightmare because the handles would like slam down when you were trying to mess with the side panel. You had to like flex them out. It was. Every time I saw someone come with that case, I rolled my eyes.
It's like, no!
I mean, the sad thing is I have so many OEM cases. I have an Alienware. I have the HP one. I've got a few others, but
you got
they have like
the Mac G3. I think a lot of people are after Mac G3s for their mod.
I do have a G5.
Yeah, G5, right? The aluminum one.
I picked it up at a garage sale for like $10.
Nice.
Wow. Nice little score on that. What are you gonna do with it? Anything, or just to have it?
I may end up doing a mod on it, but it was sitting out there, and I was like, how much? And he was like, $10. So you could tell he didn't know what it actually was. It was apparently they were like selling their son stuff or something. Because he didn't bat an eyelash. It just handed him the $10 and took it.
Nice.
That's one of my fantasies. Just one day I'll be walking and there's a system out in the curb and people don't know what it is. It could be like a server. And like there's a Xeon, because I always see people, I always hear people say that. Also, I watch YouTube channels where this guy just basically picked up. This is one of the channels I subscribe to. I think either it was EEV blog or one of the electronic engineering ones, where he picked up like a Xeon, a fully working. There's like two HP Xeon servers that he was like, he took home and it was working perfectly fine. Like several $1,000 systems.
I never get that lucky.
Yeah. The best I could get was like just smashed up bits of table. I don't know where these guys live, where they can, they just house has like a server thrown at the curb. Where did you find this, Joe? Were you in Beverly Hills or something? I don't know where. Bel Air.
No, I was in my hometown, Alvin, Texas, and just bored out of my skull and went to a garage sale.
Yeah, I should do that. I never go to garage sales. That's my problem.
That's the pay dirt, man. Because you will find people with stuff they consider crap. I mean, the G5 it didn't work, and it has cosmetic damage, but
yeah.
I mean,
that's true, because people also don't know. Most people don't know what they're really sitting on.
Yeah, well, it's also a Mac, so considering repair costs, they're just like, screw it.
Yeah. If they take it to Best Buy, Best Buy will sell them. No, we can't repair this, so they think it's worthless. Yeah.
Good old Best Buy.
Well, I can't wait till summer there. So there's no winter garage sale.
Yeah, not where you're at.
No.
Yeah. Not here.
Yeah.
Not in Canada.
General rule of thumb is if you can leave a box of popsicles outside and they're fine, people shouldn't live there.
Hey, it's not that far north compared to I think not Montana. Montana's a little bit more north than Toronto. I don't know. It's not that bad. Minnesota, I think, is colder than Toronto.
Yeah, well, Minnesota's right on the border of you guys.
No, I think because
right?
it goes down lakes and then goes up again, and there's Minnesota right there.
Wow.
Middle of nowhere, yeah.
Is that where Bill Owen's from? He always uploads crazy videos of their winters.
Yeah, I think they have colder winters than we do.
Y'all can have your cold. I'll deal with 105 degrees here in Texas. I like that.
It's character building.
That's what the people who live there. That's what they say, right?
No, they say it's time to get fat and not shave. It's not caring about that.
That explains all the Bigfoot sightings.
So, have you guys seen the what is it? The Lian Lee? It's the wall-mountable chassis.
Yeah,
I actually like that.
It does look pretty from that photo we have on the front page. That you can mount it on the thing, and you can just have it sit in front of your desk. There's one thing they have ever since 2 years ago when all the PCIe riser cables started popping up in cases, starting with when the Steam box came out. When case manufacturers just realized, hey, we should start bundling this like this. We can, gives us more leeway in designing a small form factor, a smaller, slimmer case. Silverstone was the first one they had what was that case? They have a Raven, right? That has a slimmer requires a PCIe that comes bundled with a PCIe riser.
Yeah, it's a physical riser. It's not a flex riser.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I actually don't mind that the flex risers have gotten so popular because, I mean, you can get them pretty cheap now, and I think Bitcoin mining helped that as well. Because
yeah.
I have a flex riser, then it cost me $80. That wasn't too long ago. That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, because nobody was
Cost me
buying.
$80. No, I mean it was literally a specialty item, and now that
Yeah.
I guess the innovation of modding has yet opened the eyes to another manufacturer.
It's kind of like slim DVDs. If you buy a slim DVD that's slot loading right now, NCIX has it listed for like $120 or $80 or something. Last time I checked, it's something insane like that. Because it's really specialized now. But if you buy just the normal slim CD tray that pops out, it's like $20.
Yeah, so with the more and more popular of, I think, of the smaller motherboards, you're going to see definitely the changes in the cases and the looks and the sizes and everything else. I mean, you're not going to be stuck, I think, basically with the old square case or rectangular kind of square-looking case. I think that's going to go away, definitely for sure.
Yeah.
Well, look at what did Corsair come out with? It was is it 3080T or 370T? Looks like a little space heater. I think it looks like a Pokemon.
Yeah, it looks like a lunchbox.
I mean, that's completely different than. I mean, it's not. There's not squared. It's actually pretty round.
Yeah, it looks like almost diamond shape. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with what Corsair has, but yeah, I think that's it, right? Is it micro ETX or mini ITX?
It's mini ITX. I think it's roughly the same size as like the Bitfinex Prodigy.
Yeah, the Prodigy is actually bigger than I thought it would be. When I saw it in person, it's like, oh, it looked almost like a micro ETX case. Because the handles kind of add like several more inches in the top and the bottom.
You can fit a micro ATX in there, and now they actually sell a modified version.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many people were doing that modification that they did the transition.
Yeah, I know DimasTech has one as well, and what's the one? The Air-Cool and Deep-Cool I know have the same OEM. They have the same internals, but the Deep-Cool Steam Castle and Air-Cool X Predator. No, not Predator. I forgot what you call it, but there's like an Air-Cool mini micro ATX that's kind of the same. Very cool design.
It's kind of funny because you look
Prodigy, but with different external design for micro ATX cases.
Some of these MATX towers are the size of mid towers that were accepting full ATX boards like 5 years back.
Yeah. As I think there's so much more options now, even with the slimmer full ATX cases like the O series from Lian and Silverstone. The RV05 from Silverstone, I think.
Well, you have SLI and Crossfire more readily available on these MATX boards. And I think probably in the next few years we're going to see kind of what Shuttle did, where it's going to be between ITX and MATX to offer like two slots where you can run SLI on these little like toaster-sized cases.
Yeah, because I mean, because the technology changes and everything else, we've been able to beef up the smaller boards. I mean, before when you got a small board PC, it was just barely kind of enough to maybe do some web browsing and stuff. But now that you can put, an i5 or an i7 into these things, and 16 gig of RAM, it's kicking ass. Like I said, you're just going to have all kinds of great looking little cases coming out. Or you can design your own. I mean, you probably 3D print your own case now, right?
Actually, I can in the one at work.
Yeah, there's Nook ones now. They have the I don't know what the next generation Nook's gonna be, but if they're gonna have like graphic expansion, but they're pretty powerful. They have i7 Nooks and they have like gaming Nooks. They're not gonna be they're still Intel embedded graphics, but eventually Intel embedded is gonna be good enough for like basic gaming. Well, they are actually good enough now. The latest generation rather.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be exciting to see the changes. And then we got the what is that? The does this? I can't even say the word. Sorry.
DimasTech?
Yes, thank you. Stumbling all over my false teeth, I guess. So, if you guys have seen that one,
The completely modular. I call it the Burger King case because it's like have it your way.
yeah, because when I started looking at it, and it was like, yeah, okay, looks like a case, looks like a case.
What do they call it? AMC? What does it stand for? Advanced Modular Case?
Advanced modular case. So, according to what they're saying, and it's on the site, we have it listed on there. So you have 64 possible combinations of the case to be made or put together. Plus, you've got 10 different colors that you can do, and then the buttons is like 10 different colors of that. All the combinations is like Joe says, like Burger King, you can have it your way. 6,400 different combinations.
Wow.
Okay, so your case could be completely different from somebody else's case, but it's just I really want to see one of these in person because something I don't think anybody's seen in a long time is they've got actually the slide out motherboard tray. When's the last time you've seen that one?
Case Labs has that. The whole tray comes out. Yeah.
Nice. I haven't seen that. Well, I don't have a Case Labs.
The perks are pretty good too. They're not bad. The $1,500. The highest one is like DimasTech Holiday. Okay, flight to Italy not included, but all carb movement and eating is included, and you get to stay at the Garda Lake. And it's like if you pull that up in Google Images, you can see how beautiful that place is.
It sounds pretty tempting to do that, right? Because
Yeah.
this is off of the what was it? The indie. What was it? There it is.
I'm honestly tempted to do that. So, just for the vacation. That's not bad. That's not bad for a.
I know.
If they're covering hotel, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I know. I thought the same thing, to tell you the truth. I'm like, and get a case out of the whole deal?
Yeah.
A giant case. I mean, if they can price this right, they can definitely compete with like Case Labs and a few of the other expensive case companies. It's kind of cool to see that before you would never be able to sell a case that was above maybe $250, and now it's like the standard is $250 is not that expensive for a nice case.
Well, there are people.
The Cosmos is $250.
Yeah, it turns out there's a lot of people who are willing to spend, spend money on, especially on boutique cases like this.
Well, it's that, and I mean now they'll build a system and they keep the case forever. I know that's kind of what Murderbox's thing with that. They have I think their case their bare minimum for the new one is $1,200, but it's basically you just keep that case forever and you just keep building into it.
Not bad. What are let's see what the perks are. The lowest one is, well, €5. I don't know what you get for that.
You get a smile.
Get a smile. 1,000 claimed. You get a hoodie for €30. That's not even bad.
That's actually pretty good. Cause
How much is €30 in
50?
US dollars? I keep on thinking euro is just there's a parity, but it's not. It's like twice as much, or I keep on forgetting.
It just depends on what the rate exchange is right now.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, I think it's probably $38, probably $40.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, right now Canadian US is horrible because it's like $1.20. $1.20. One Canadian is $1.20 US. I can't do the math directly right now. It used to be Paris, it was easier to calculate.
Well, at least it goes up.
$300 you get. Does it include a case? Yeah, it comes with a case and laser etched. €300. €100 is a discount code for $100 off. So the price is gonna be a lot more than €160 because that's the discount code they're offering you. So people
So
can guess what the price is going to be for this case already. Just from
30
that.
euro is equal to $36.49 US.
I was close. I was guessing.
Yeah, that's actually really good. That's actually not bad. I mean, if they're doing like a hoodie to promote their product, I'm pretty sure it's not like a little cheap hoodie.
Yeah, it's limited run too, right? It's not going to be continuously made. It's going to be
Yeah, there'll be a stop point. I mean, what's that place called?
kind of like murder
Indie-gogo.
box.
Well, right, but what's it called? Red Harbinger's mining thing. The dopamine. I think that one was a limited run, only available to the people that pre-ordered.
Well, that's the
Might
way
be
to do it because you have to, if
You have to entice them.
yeah, you gotta create the demand.
Well, that's what they did with NCase. NCase was, I mean, those things were selling for, what was it, like 350 to 400 bucks on eBay, and people
The
were buying
NCase
them.
M1.
The prototypes were selling for that
Yeah.
much.
Wow.
No, I mean now you can get them for like 185 bucks, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean that was before they were actually out and available to everyone. They were fetching a pretty penny because people wanted them. It was something they couldn't get.
I'm curious to see what this is really going to look like. I mean, we've got a couple of our test benches and stuff, and I was very impressed on the design and how they laid it out. So, I mean, I think they can do a great job with this one.
There's also the new one, the Hex-Gear. When was that announced? That was only like a few days ago, was it?
I think maybe last week it was announced. I talked to Nate.
Yeah, Nate,
He's with
Nate George
E22.
from E22 and Hans Peter Saul.
I talked to
Collaborative
Nate
project.
'cause I saw it and I was like, I want it. But he said that they're working out manufacturing details, and he said that he's looking at sub 200. I want to say sub 200 euro is where he's at. But that for the price point and the way the case is laid out, seems like an actual legit deal.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's micro ATX, I don't think that's a deal breaker for a lot of people. There's a lot like we mentioned earlier. There's a lot of small form factor builders now.
Now, this is kind of more of an independent guy, though, isn't it? Is that what it is?
Well, it's
Yeah.
two guys that came together. So you have E22, and then you have Hans. I'm not sure what his company is actually called. I'd have to look it up.
HPS.DK, I think. E22 has E22 is UK based, and Hans is based out of Denmark.
So his is just his initials. So Hans Pederstall.
Yeah, Hope from I saw him at BitTech. I think that's his username in BitTech, right?
Yeah, he posts a lot in BidTech. He did this really cool video on the last build he did in one of the giant Case Labs cases, and it shows like him filling up the loop and the dies running through it. But I mean it's a really good collaboration because Nate has done some really good work himself. On I think he did a project a few years ago before he really started picking up speed. He actually sells the chassis on special order. He did a completely fabricated case. Let's see, what was it called? So his was called the K2 MK1, and he developed that. And then you have Hans, who's Hans has actually developed quite a bit of not just computer cases. He 3D printed his own drone.
A drum?
Like a quadcopter.
Oh, drone. Okay.
Yeah, if you go to his website, you'll see all the stuff he's made and worked on.
There's like he's a designer. He's a designer by trade, so he's got a lot of really interesting designs.
I mean, even the stuff he posts on his YouTube channel, it's really impressive. So seeing those two collaborate on something, I want to say that the case may have very, very few flaws in it. Just because I mean, these guys, that's what they do. They design, they look at all the angles, and I know they've given a select number of cases out already to certain modders to kind of try out, let us know what's wrong with them, how they would fix it, what they're doing to mod it. I guess kind of like a little publicity show.
Yeah, they say they expect it to be less than 200 euros. Yeah. You can go to their website. It's
Hex-Gear.com.
Yep.
It is the R40 micro ATX case.
And I'm seeing quite a bit, and they're water cooling supportive. I think one guy has a 360mm rad on his.
Oh wow! You fit 360 on that?
So,
Oh yeah, I see 240 is on top. You can modify the move the power supply. You can have a 360. I don't know if you can. I think you have a 360 in the bottom too.
I want to say it might be about the same length as a fractal R4 MIDI.
Yeah, it looks like it's long.
Yeah, it looks like it's longer than it is tall. Definitely. Looks nice though.
It's a very simple design, so you can modify it very easily. You don't have to work around any previous extrusions or fabrications within the case itself.
Yeah, I mean, it looks very open. You don't see like a hard drive cage and all that other crap that's inside there from the pictures that I'm looking at. It's nice. Very nice. Pretty impressed with that. But that's cool though. I mean, you know, when you start getting guys like, you know, what we do in the modding and stuff, and they start getting into these designs and start being able to do that. I mean, you know, that's everybody's kind of dream, is to make a case that you could sell and that people will like. And when you get a community that gets behind there and helps you do that, it's, you know, you're not going to satisfy everybody's wants and needs, but you can definitely get a lot of collaboration and get something that's pretty stellar like that. I mean, if these guys get that together and it takes off, I mean, you know, 2 thumbs up to them. I mean, it's awesome. That's where a lot of these little companies started, you know, Thermaltake and places like that, and NZXT, you know. They start something small and grow into something big.
Yeah.
So,
You can,
yeah.
it's not going to be made in China like the other ones. It's not going to be, you know, they can't compete in volume, but they can compete with limited runs like that, and then just grow from there.
The quality is there as well, because you know each one of these be made personalized. They don't have a giant factory. I mean, I've seen Nate set up, and I've kind of seen Hans, but
yeah, it's definitely harder to do quality control too. I was talking to I'm not going to say who, but there was this case manufacturer I talked to at CES 2 years ago, and he was complaining to me about having problems with quality control because they manufacture things in China, and of course there's a language barrier. This guy was German, and then they would talk about something, and they would come back, and then when the sample comes back, either they screw up with the shipping or the specs were not exactly as they wanted, and they have to somehow just have to make a compromise in between.
Right.
That's what always happens. But when you have a small sample like this and you're making it locally, you have a lot more control in terms of quality control, and make sure that what you want done is exactly where you want. And that screw hole you wanted put in will actually be in that screw hole, and there's no cost cutting made elsewhere that you're not aware of.
Yeah, you know, and unfortunately sometimes that's what kind of happens too is to meet a certain price point, a lot of these companies will come up with a really cool case, but then start chopping things out of it to hit that price point, or you know, oh, we can make this out of plastic instead of, you know, aluminum or this and that. Which, you know, I mean, you got to understand, they got to make the money, but I don't know, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's pretty much impossible to. I can't even imagine how they can offer like a $99 case. Most of the $99 case I see out there, if they don't manufacture it in China, because where the labor is cheap. Because even if they ship it from China all the way around the world, it's still gonna they can still make profit because the cost of labor there is really cheap.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, you get the labor cheap, but like you said, the quality. You know, when you say I want that here and I want the screw there and I want that there, and then you get the sample sent to you, it's completely wrong.
Yeah, well, when the factory worker is trying to kill himself, you know, he just I think he's that enthusiastic about making that case properly. If he's, you know, if he has a 12:30 appointment with a Grim Reaper, the rooftop. So
you definitely got a point there.
yeah.
They waterboarded me.
Yeah.
What other cases are there? New ones that we haven't discussed. There's a whole bunch that. We got the R40, the NCase M1 we mentioned briefly. That was what was it? A micro ATX case, Joe? One of the more popular ones.
ITX.
Yeah.
So that was actually brought up on Kickstarter, and guy kind of had a vision of what he wanted an ITX case to be, and it's, as far as I know, it's all aluminum. So it's, if you look at it, it kind of looks like an old Lian Lee style chassis. Before Lian Lee started getting, I don't want to say gimmicky, but they started taking a wild turn on their designs.
Yeah, Lian Lee and Silverstone are kind of competing in that out-of-the-box style design. Well, Lian Lee actually took it one step further with that actual train case.
I didn't understand that at all.
I think that was ITX.
That was just a gimmick thing, right?
It is. I think it's a working train. That was your idea, and I think it was powered in through the rails. I don't know. I haven't seen it in person because I didn't attend CES when they were demonstrating that thing.
Yeah, I saw it. It was cool, but it was like, okay.
Why?
Was it powered by the rail, or is it like wired? Or
it would go forward on the rail, and then it would come backwards on the rail, go forward on the rail, backwards, and just go back and forth. It's like that's cool for like 3-4 minutes.
Yeah. When you were a kid, when you wanted you insisted to your parents that you wanted those what do you call that? Those racers that you put in, and then it would just go round and round, and you think it's the best. Because when you see it at the toy store, it looks like the best thing ever. And then when you take it home, and after it does the first loop, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
What do you call that? It's not micro machines, but they're I forgot what you call them. What does it do? It's basically like that. You're bored after it does that first move back and forth.
Yeah, you're like, okay. Put it to the side, and off you go. But I mean, you know, it was more of just like anything else. It was just a gimmick. You got people talking about Lee and Lie, you know, and that's all it was about. And they got exactly what they wanted out of it. Because I think they only made like 100 or 200 or something of them.
Yeah, really limited edition.
Yeah. So they did exactly what they wanted.
Inwin as well. Inwin has some kind of balls to the wall cases there with the D frame and then the S frame, and then they came out with some. Then they finally came out with some normal looking case this year as well. So there's a lot like the NZXT R40, but their S frame is also, and their D frame is also one of those limited edition runs where they I think it's like $400, $450. Yeah, it's got like a giant tempered glass.
The S frame I think is upwards to 700, 800.
Wow.
Well, I kind of like the look of the S frame though. I kind of like it. I like it.
Yeah, I like the design of the S frame. It's definitely unique.
Yeah.
You reviewed
somewhere. They announced that they're going to make an ITX version or an MATX version of the S frame.
I don't know if I saw the mini ITX, the micro ATX version of the D frame at QuakeCon. They have it there, but I don't remember if I saw a micro ATX there for demo. But probably not. But I saw the. Does that come with the LED built in? Because I saw all the ones I saw had an LED working on it. Probably part of the $700 price tag.
Yeah.
Because it does look cool with the tempered glass, and they also had that a few years ago. They had what's that case called? TOU, TOU, where it was basically a one-way glass, but if you power your system on, you will see the internal component, but when you turn it off, you won't see the inside. It will just look like a mirrored surface.
Yeah, they had that one at CES last year, and it was the one that was kind of shaped like the Sandcrawler from Star Wars.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're gonna keep on making those side by side with their segment cases.
I think so. Because you might get one that really hits in the market, and everybody's got to have it, and people kind of like having kind of one-offs where only a few people can get it.
Yeah, the D-frame is a lot more popular than I thought it would be. It was one of those things that I definitely did not expect was going to be popular, but I actually know 2 people who have a D-frame here in Toronto who bought it.
Really?
And that's one of those cases I couldn't imagine myself the design, but for some people they like it. They like, I guess, because the tempered glass and the open frame look.
Yeah, well, and the cool thing about it too is that you can take it and you can put it on its side, and you have a coffee table.
Oh yeah, true. That's probably what they were doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Or when I talked to them last year, when I looked at it, or whatever year it was and it came out, they were actually talking about, like, people were talking about maybe like servers or some kind of rack things because you could stack them on top of each other. So
I've seen it in some sites use it on their test bench because it was also because it's semi-open, so you can easily access parts as well. I believe either thessdsdreview.com, I think Les Tokar is also Canadian. I think that's his test system for his SSDs because it's easier to swap out drives in it.
Yeah, it was definitely easy to get stuff into it. I mean, but the middle plate is like, oh gosh, I think it was probably like almost half-inch aluminum.
Yeah. So a lot more successful than their. I think their first one was the X-frame. I barely even remember what it looks like, but all I know is that it was blue. X-frame and then the D-frame and the S-frame is the latest one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know you reviewed the 920. That was also aluminum, right?
The glass aluminum one?
What was that? What was the name of that? 928 or 9?
Man, that didn't make me think.
Or something like that. I know they have a micro ATX and a full ATX and a side ATX version.
Yeah, because they had the 904.
904. There you go.
Yeah, which I like that, and I still have that case. The only thing I didn't kind of like about it was where the CD was.
It was right underneath where the power supply area was, right?
Well, you had the power supply on. If you're looking at the case from the left-hand side. And the power supply was towards the back, and then your ROM drive would sit just in front of that, up inside that open space, which was kind of weird. I had this big open space that didn't get utilized for anything unless you popped out.
Yeah, it was just a design.
Yeah, and then it's like I don't know, but because from that design also is that now they took the ROM drive and they had to put it basically also inside the space where the power supply was at. So now you're all cramped in with cables. And there wasn't that much management to the power supply. Other than that, I thought it was a really, really pretty cool case.
I think you're finding more with these like open-ended cases, so like test benches and then the D-frame. It's making cable management just become more and more scrutinized. Because, I mean, you can't really... I mean, it's almost like you have to make your own custom cables now. Because you can't have, like, pigtail SATA cables. Oh, I use one SATA. I've got 3 hanging off. I mean, even if you zip tie them together, it's still kind of... It clashes with the build.
Yeah. Especially for Joe, who is, for those who don't know, he is a sleeving guru. All manner of cables, and will be making tutorials for Modder Zinc. All your sleeving-related questions. How many kilometers of sleeving have you worked on, Joe? Would you estimate so far?
That would be miles in the U.S.
Yeah. Oh, miles. Sorry. Well, let's just do the to the moon measurement. How many trips to the moon?
I'm at 122 power supplies right now.
Holy shit. 122 power supplies?
Yeah, it's kind of like World War II. They had marked their little kills. It's kind of like that for me. Some easier than others. I do it for fun. I mean, I worked for Mike Lutro for a good while, and him and I are still very good friends. And I mean, even doing that, you kind of have to take your pace because you will get burnt out. Even though it's something I enjoy to do, some of those power supplies, I mean, honestly, just kick your ass.
What is the most difficult power supply you ever sleeved in terms of the pinouts that was a problem for you?
So it's odd because one of them is one of the easiest power supplies to sleeve, but because of the options of that power supply, you can literally go from having a single double wire to having 17 double wires, and that's actually the Silverstone SFX PSUs. And
yeah.
the reason it jumps is because the way I do my cables, I don't do the little pigtail off of the 8-pin to a 6-pin or another 8-pin. I actually use Lutro's method of the Y-split. So you're looking at 6 right there, and on those little PSUs, you only have 2 peripheral spots. So if you're branching off into either quad SATA or quad Molex or half and half, I mean, there's 10, there's 9, 8, however you want to do the math. But if you're not considering that one, the hardest one is they're identical, so it's the Lipa/Enermax, their highest wattage PSUs.
Oh, what is the Platinum-X or the?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Platinum series one.
The Revos.
Oh, the Max Revos. Yeah, the $1,500 one. The 1600 watt.
Yep, those actually have one point they have 3 wires that split off, and so 3 wires go together, and then 5 wires split off, and they're held together with like these giant metal brad clips. And the tricky one on that is they're tied into the sense. So if you don't hook the right one up to the right wire, the power supply won't turn on.
Well, there were some. What was that? I think Corsair actually, with their modular cases, they started offering the pre-sleeved kind of extensions for not extension, but the actual sleeve for the power supply. I don't know, for some reason that never seemed to take off. I don't know why.
So
I thought that would be kind of more popular than it would be.
EVGA and Corsair did that, and they used 2 different materials, where Corsair is that plastic sleeve,
yeah,
and EVGA is like a starched paracord almost.
It was difficult to manage.
But I mean, I never really saw it take off. I mean, I've had people ask me. Well, yeah, I mean, it took away, even though they look custom, you still have the drawbacks of your standard cables, where they had cables branching off, you had more than you needed, and I mean, I get requests all the time, hey, will you sleeve this power supply? And I give them a quote, and they're like, you're nuts. But then they come back like 2 or 3 weeks later and say, hey, I'm still interested. I ordered such and such cables, and they weren't really quality, or they weren't what I was looking for. And I mean, nothing custom is ever cheap.
Yeah. It's very obvious once you see in person the customized ones and the ones that just the extensions that they sell on Bitphoenix and NZXT and Corsair, all these extra ones they sell, because they have to, like we said earlier, they have to make a profit, so they do make cuts anyway, and it's not going to be on the labor.
No. Oh God, no! It's not going to be in the labor.
I'm still amazed that you say that you like doing the sleeving. That's just some blowing me away.
Nick has the same thing because Nick absolutely hates to sleeve.
I do
And
too.
then when I tell him, it's like, oh, I find it relaxing. I'll sit down and put on like an anime or.
He's got like a rocking chair with a knit cap, and it's just with a duster.
I think if I can get one of those XD racer chairs, it'll be even better. But no, I mean, my hands have definitely paid for it. I mean, my hands are already like all roughed up from weightlifting, but sleeving, I mean, you're not gonna have pretty hands.
There goes your modeling career. Yeah, your hand modeling career.
Well, I knew I couldn't be a face model for sure. That's just too damn funny looking.
Well, it could be like for, I don't know, erectile dysfunction or like, or you know when they have those herpes commercial where you're like the boyfriend. There's like a boyfriend of the female who has herpes, and she's proud, but the boyfriend is just there in the back being supportive. That's a modeling job of some sort. I don't think those guys are that good looking, but you know.
There was a beer. I can't remember what the beer's name was, but they're like, why are we focusing so much on her hands? Well, frankly, she's not that attractive. I can't remember the beer.
That's why you have to drink more beer so she becomes attractive.
Well, hopefully our viewers will be, because we'll be doing a lot more video content, especially with Joe's sleeving tutorials and Nick's water cooling tutorials will be coming up, and our CES coverage as well.
I'll be doing a comparison of all the sleeving I've used and what I can really recommend. I mean, keep in mind, I have to make sure my customers are happy. They may not know what sleeving's good, what has issues. I mean, I have the brands I recommend that I've tried. I've tried all but one brand of sleeving, which I'll be putting an order in for soon to give it a try, just to make sure that it's something I can recommend. Because I don't want a customer to come to me and say, "Hey, what about this?" And I'm like, "I don't know," or they want to use this. I'm like, "Look, it's not quality. You're not going to get the same results as if you use this." And I mean, one of the big things, it's funny because a year or two ago, everyone was like plastic sleeving, and now I'm seeing more and more paracord.
And paracord, for those who are not familiar, that's the cloth, right?
That's the cloth. It's almost like a shoelace material.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can get it from Primo Chill and you can get it from Mike's shop, and they're both cordless. So for those of you who don't know, paracord is what they actually use for parachute harnesses. If it can take a jolt from you getting pulled out and slacking back, it's going to be okay for your sleeve. But if you don't order it cordless, like what Lucho or now their mainframe customs or Primo Chill, you end up with, so it looks like a shoelace, but it's filled with all this like stringy material, and it really looks like guts because it's different colors.
Yeah.
And you have to pull that out before you can put your wire in. So even though you can get 100 feet for about maybe $7 to $10, you're going to be spending an hour or two taking all those guts out.
A lot more work than actually putting the sleeving in.
I tie the guts to a doorknob, and then I just run and see if I can actually get them out. And I think Craig helped me with that last year at QuakeCon. I gutted like 50 feet in like 10 seconds. It was awesome.
Well, we'll be excited to see what's up there, because I know there's going to be a whole bunch of mods at CES as well. And I know Dewayne is going to be showing off some of his mods there. And let's see, not QuakeCon, CES rather. I'm thinking 6 months in advance already. CES, you have your Zotac mod, of course, and what do we have? Little preview, Dewayne, or surprise?
It's going to be surprise right now. I mean, everybody knows the one. I think they've seen the one I did of the Death Star from the Orb, from the Z box, or the Orb from Zotac. and then Zotac wanted a couple of us to get together and make a kind of like a prototype of a new Z box, because they haven't changed the style of the Z box for many years, and they wanted to see what a couple guys can come up with, and they're actually going to have a little competition about it, and I think they're going to put it on Facebook and stuff like that, and have people vote on it, and if people like it, they might even put it into a production and make the cases.
And the Z box is this the 5x5? Is it 5x5 inch square, right?
It's like 8x8.
8x8.
Oh yeah, on the outside of it, and it's just the real mini tiny ones that you put up like your TV or maybe a desktop just to surf the web and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's slightly larger than the Intel NUC.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm curious to see what the other guys come up with, because, I mean, I didn't go mod out. I actually kind of sat and thought about, if I were to buy it, what I'd like to see into it, because, I mean, if you want to mod it, not everybody likes the way you style things. So I think I took probably a different approach than maybe some of what the other guys did. So we'll see how it goes, because mine looks probably more stock than modded, but I made the case completely. I mean, it's a whole brand new case that I made it out of.
Nice. Well, we'll definitely see that. We'll be doing a full video coverage at CES this year, which will be part of our expansion, 2015 expansion.
Yep.
We'd like to give them a little taste of what we're planning, Dwayne.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be awesome for first time ever that we're going to be actually doing all this stuff. So we're going to be trying to do videos, interviews with everybody. Anything that we can find will be posted on Facebook. So we'll be doing images. I mean, we're going to do whatever we can. We're going to be. It's easier to do that stuff while you're there, and then a lot of the videos will probably be edited when we come back, and it'll be shown afterwards. Because when you're taking videos and you're talking, you don't really have a lot of time at the show. And for when we're going to be walking around the CES, right now we have 21 meetings set up with about 8 to go. So I can tell you, you're walking and traveling from one spot to the next spot to the next spot, and then around 6 or 7 o'clock you are just wiped out. You try and get something to eat, and then you go to a couple of parties, and you don't have time to create. So.
Yeah, that's what most people don't understand, just how hectic CES can be. Because it looks fun, but once you're there, it becomes a blur. That whole week is basically going to be spent. Well, half of it will be spent walking. And when people, because I've seen the last few days, I've seen people complain how, why is the company not sending out my prize for my Christmas giveaway only after CES? Because CES is taking a lot of work for these manufacturers to put up, and also the rep responsible for the giveaway is also the one handling the CES setup. So they have a lot on their plate. Plus, on the media side, like us, we will do video coverage, and video requires editing, and you have to remember, after going through 40 different booths, you have to remember what you saw and everything. Even if you look at your notes, your brain, by the third day, your brain will have a hard time trying to remember what name goes with what and whose face goes with what. Also, because you'll be drunk from the night parties from the night before too. So that's a big thing with that. But definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ModdersInc, and Facebook. Obviously, that's where we Facebook group and Twitter. Should we start an Instagram account to where we're gonna put in our little quick video clips? Because you guys have your phones, right? You're gonna be doing photos. You're gonna tweet photos as we enter the suites. But the full edited video tour of the suites and the booths will be a few days or a day after CES once we get back home. Because I know what day are you going back home, Dwayne? Because the event is from Tuesday to Friday, but we'll be there Monday. I think Monday. I arrived Sunday night, and Monday morning I think we have some meetings already.
Yeah, I mean, officially doesn't start until Tuesday, but we've already got some stuff going on Monday, which is before CES. CES. And then I'm leaving on Saturday, which is the day like after.
Yeah. Well, my flight is Saturday. I made sure to spend to my return flight to be Saturday at night. Red eye flight. So 10:30. So I'm flying out of Vegas 10:30, arriving at Toronto at like 6:30 a.m. on my flight, but at least I don't leave early. Like before, when I booked the QuakeCon tickets, I booked it wrong because I booked the flight out 5:30 that morning, so I had to cut out of the VIP party. I had to say goodbye to you guys like right in the middle of the prize giving session. So I had to sleep, but definitely Saturday it will be CS will be big for Modders Inc. Lots of coverage. So subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Twitter. That's pretty much it, right? Anything else we need to promote? We're just about done here with our 1 hour of podcast.
Yeah, I think we're done. I think we did a pretty good job this time. We talked about quite a few stuff. Want to thank everybody for watching who does watch, and please tell everybody else because we're only going to get better at this, and we're going to give it definitely a lot more coverage. If you got anything, certain topics that you guys want to talk about, because we can't always think about what people want to talk about, or maybe what they're having troubles with. We definitely suggest something. We'll put it into the next podcast. Make sure we hit that subject. And we're here to help you guys, and we enjoy what we do, and we want you guys to make sure you get enough out of what we do for the website, and like Ron was saying, we're definitely going to be expanding more. We've developed some more guys that are doing the hardware side and the reviews, and we're also going to be pushing more on the modding side. So we're going to have a lot of content that's going to happen this year.
And officially, we are still QuakeCon. Official Modders Inc. QuakeCon case mod, right?
Absolutely.
We
contacted them, and we've got it. So we'll be getting that information together. Part of CES is going to be I'm going to be talking to some of the more people there, and really trying to look for some good big sponsors. We're really trying to make something quite big this year. Really wanting to make something to happen. And
we'll get started with those
anniversary.
Yeah, because it is going to be the 20th anniversary of QuakeCon, and it's going to be if you haven't been to any one of them in the past, you need to go to this one.
This is definitely
This is going to be, I think, the big one.
Last year they had the reveal for the new Doom revamp.
Yeah, I am so excited about that.
And then I think we've officially decided that our Modders Inc. case mod competition amongst ourselves is Doom.
I think Quake and Doom theme, right?
Yes, I think it's what we talked about last time. Was splitting that up.
It could be Doom, it could be Quake, just so we can have different themes there. I think I already picked mine. I just need to put it on paper. My first case mod ever.
So Joe laughs about it.
Yeah, I'd be staff versus staff mod up. I'm definitely the long shot. I'll be going. It was already hard last year, but now we brought in Joe Mercado and Nick Blackwell, 2 award-winning case modders. So it's gonna be a problem for me.
I got second in 2012, and then Nick got second this past year in his category. But this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait. Definitely, I'm definitely gonna be there come July.
Awesome. Well,
all right.
I guess we'll bring this to a wrap, right, guys?
Yep.
All right.
You guys take it easy. Have a happy New Year.
You too.
Everybody be safe, and see you in 2015.
We'll do a live podcast at CES. We'll put a supplementary podcast there.
Yep.
Just because it's easy to do as well. Yep. With everyone there. No time delays, no video, stuff like that. I mean, no webcam issues. So, all right. See you guys.
See ya.